Stay on, because as you've been telling us, we've just got some more breaking news. This is big. What could possibly be the structure of the new Council of Ministers? Information coming in from our sources. 4 former chief ministers will be included in the cabinet. Cabinet to have 18 former state ministers, to have 39 former MLAs as well. 23 members of parliament who have been elected already, or at least have got more terms in the past as well. Also, caste representation is going to be very crucial in the Council of Ministers. 5 minority community ministers, which would include 1 from the Muslim community, 1 from the Sikh community, 2 possibly from the Buddhist community, 1 Christian, and 27 OBC ministers in council, of which 5 of cabinet rank. Also, there are going to be the SC/ST community, which could have possibly 8 ministers, and 12 from the scheduled caste and 8 from the scheduled tribe in the council 2 of the cabinet rank. And Rahul, I want to quickly go across again to you. So this is a possible shape and structure, but we clearly now know what is being considered here is diversity. Do you think that's going to be a message and of significance for the government to show?
You see, how you spell diversity for a government and a political party in government, it is important that it gets the representation of all segments and demographics in the country. Now, if you see the background information, how it is explaining is that the average of the government is now, ministers in the government is 58. There are something close to 14 ministers who are below 50 years of age. There are 11 women. It also talks about how many SC, ST, OBC, 25 of them will be part of the council once the final shape takes up. What it indicates is that the government is trying to say that it is getting fresh legs, fresh mind, and fresh teeth to its administrative mechanism, that is the Council of Ministers, and also giving adequate political representation to all segments of the society. It means that it is an exercise to perhaps prepare for political challenges of the future and administrative challenges in future. And that is why what one can say, it's a comprehensive exercise created after a long duration of discussion at multiple levels in the government. And that is why you see several non-performers being dropped. Thawarchand Gehlot sent to Karnataka as governor. Sadanand Gowda asked to resign. What we are hearing that there are 3 more at least names which are probables who might be dropped from the Council of Ministers only on the criteria of performance. One of the big signs to watch will be, will Dr. Harshvardhan lose the health ministry? A parliament session is approaching. Can the government change a health minister before session is a point to ponder? But some sources are even going to the extent saying that Dr. Harshvardhan may not remain the health minister. So that means there is a drastic attempt by the Prime Minister to ensure that all the deadwood which was there, those ministers who had not performed are removed, new people are brought in, new energy can be provided. But still questions, say for example, Anurag Thakur you talked about, he is likely to be elevated, some sources saying as a Minister of State, independent charge. But the fact is the government getting some technocrats? That's one very critical factor that we heard yesterday, that some lateral entrant technocrats are likely to be brought into the government. That will be the key element of this.
Understand from you, what does the reference technocrat mean? Because for the viewer watching, if there are these, of course, political expertise, election-bound states that are being considered, why bring in the technocrats who are, of course, experts in their respective professional streams?
Pooja, that's a very good question. You see, politics and administration have changed completely. You see, they brought in, the Prime Minister brought in Dr. S. Jaishankar as the External Affairs Minister. And one definitely sees that there has been a definitive change as far as the External Affairs Ministry and the manner in which the coordination between the PMO, the Prime Minister's global outlook is being carried out. In that scenario, there is a requirement, because the BJP does not have deep experience as far as several elements are concerned. Say, for example, health. Dr. Harshvardhan was a doctor. He was a practicing doctor and a politician, but somehow under him the ministry failed to predict the ferocity of the second surge. In that scenario, the government is thinking that is it a possibility that it creates what is called the champions of the new challenges. Say, for example, government for running the economy and boosting the economy needs disinvestment. Now, there is a crisis that the entire disinvestment plan and reforms have been lying in the cold storage for some time. How to create, say, for example, get rid of something like civil aviation has a problem of Air India. It's been pending for a very long time. That's where some lateral entrants are being considered by the Prime Minister, and some specific information has come that there is a possibility that there might be few technocrats who might be inducted in the Council of Ministers.
Rahul, how many members can there be in the council with regard to the cabinet? I'm asking this question because we remember earlier the union government focused on minimum government, maximum governance, to not have many people. It appears now they're trying to include more people. They're trying to include diverse faces as well. So how do you think that's going to be planned out specifically because a state like Uttar Pradesh is all set to go to elections?
Yes, there are challenges. See, Pooja, it's again a very interesting question. The government wants to change the image of the government. The government wants that schemes and policies roll out faster. Reforms should come in. But you saw what happened with the farm laws. That somewhere they got stuck because of the opposition, political opposition. So it has to be a balance of administrative acumen and political acumen. Now, when you ask that is the government large, right now Prime Minister in the last Council of Ministers had 58 ministers, 28 vacancies were there because total 81 can be there. Now, in that scenario, the Prime Minister has elbow room to get in more people. But yes, the Prime Minister in 2014 said that minimum government, maximum governance. In that scenario, he had created those super ministries, Nitin Gadkari sitting over 2-3 departments which are related. But if you notice, today the government came up with an reallocation of work, and Department of Public Enterprises was merged with the Finance Ministry, for example, from the Heavy Industries Ministries. That's the kind of a streamlining important because the Finance Ministry deals with the disinvestment. The public sector enterprises were the heavy industries, means there were 2 ministries and 3-4 departments which are working with each other. Now, under one ministry, there can be coordination. So, is the Prime Minister looking at streamlining the government and maybe partially increasing the number? I don't think it's going to be as large as what Atal Bihari Vajpayee had, but maybe perhaps definitely that from 58 it may go to 65 to 670.
And what are we expecting today evening? What is the timing for the possible oath ceremony? How many people are then going to be brought in? I also hear that COVID protocols are going to be strictly in place in the evening today.
Yes, Pooja. One of the high points of for journalists used to be covering the oath ceremony at the President House. This time around, it is being declared out of bounds because of COVID protocol. Everybody will have to depend on DD live feed, primarily because of the fact that one, there is a requirement for COVID test positive, negative results, which is going to be difficult. So because of that, it's not good to them. But importantly, what I will also like to tell that till yesterday afternoon, the timing for the oath ceremony was 10:30 a.m. on 8th of July. Then it was changed to 7th evening. But right now, that even that other opening has not been cancelled. So one will have to wait and see. But now most indications are that it could take place. It could take place in the evening. But importantly, that if you see, a few of the members were invited by the Prime Minister to meet him. And that number was not very large.
Yes.
Now, what sources are saying that it is a possibility that the rejig might be there, might involve 22, 23 odd people, but the number of inductions may not be very high.
Rahul Srivastava, please stay on with me.